Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. Good morning.
Morning, my name is Joey Cantu. I'm an attorney out of Boston with Dunham and Jones. I'll be seeing you a little bit more. I substituted for another attorney in my office for a number of cases.
You substitute for Daniel Barrera?
No, for Jorge Almendor. I'm here on Caden Brown's case this morning.
Brown?
Yes.
Caden. Okay. Why don't you get Mr. Brown in here?
He sure is.
I say hello. And go back to Williams County.
I agree.
Court is in session in cause number 331056. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Caden Michael Brown. Mr. Brown, is that your full name?
Yes,
How you doing, Mr. Brown?
doing good.
That's good. Mr. Brown, your attorney of record is Jorge Almendor. However, standing in for Jorge Almendor is attorney Joey Cantu. Attorney Cantu, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. The state is represented by attorney Tommy Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Attorney Cantu, what is your announcement in Mr. Brown's case?
Your Honor, again, I recently substituted as counsel for Mr. Brown, for Mr. Almendor. I have made some efforts to contact Mr. Coleman and give him some information. I understand Mr. Brown was rejected from pretrial diversion. So we are working on a plea agreement. I'm hopeful by the next setting, you can either have a plea agreement or a setting of trial.
Okay, how much time do you need?
We can have about 4 weeks, Judge.
Say 30 days? Okay, give us a reset date for 30 days.
It's on the trial docket, I just said.
Just an announcement. Keep it on the announcement right now. They'll make an announcement.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna be forward.
October 24th,
That's fine, Your Honor.
2022. Attorney Cantu, you're gonna sign for the reset over there, and Mr. Brown, once you get the reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. Mr. Brown, you have a blessed day, and Attorney Cantu, you have a blessed day as well. You stand on the 4X.
Will the restroom
Yes,
And then wait outside.
you'll be free to go.
all right, so
Well, hold on a minute. Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session. Next case is called number 326428. The case is filed in the state of Texas versus Veronica Martinez or Veronica Lee Quasada.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Martinez, how are you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm fine.
Miss,
How are you?
okay. And Ms. Quesada, you're here represented by your Attorney Marva Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, y'all.
That's good. Ms. Provo, what is your announcement in Ms. Quesada's case?
Okay, we're gonna put it place it on trial, don't you?
Okay, give us a trial date.
October 24th.
Okay, this case is gonna be reset to October 24th of 2022. Mr. Quesada, your attorney is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay, okay, thank you. Ms. Provo, would you please sign for the reset?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, court is in session and cause number 329882. Case is styled with State of Texas versus Anthony Kane Lund. Lund, would you please come forward? Yes. Mr. Lund, is your full name Anthony Kane Lund?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Lund, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Lund, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Lund?
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Lund, you're here represented by your attorney Daniel Barrera. Is that correct? How you doing, Attorney Barrera?
Good, Your Honor.
That's good. State is represented by Attorney Thomas Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
Mr. Barrera, do you waive a record in, like,
I
Yeah.
don't know whether we were doing this one.
No,
or
no,
not.
I didn't know.
No.
I didn't know.
We'll wait.
you do you waive a record?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me put your-
okay, okay. Mr. Lund, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about March 28th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed a Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Lund, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, Mr. Lund, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Guilty. Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lund, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Lund, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, Mr. Lund, there are a set of initials, AL, that are on a line next to a box that check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the third page of the same document, Mr. Lund, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Lund, is that your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Lund, there are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? Get a discovery certification?
I do, Your Honor.
Yes. Mr. Lund, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line as titled defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lund, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, ma'am.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lund, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, sir. State op states one.
Any objections?
No,
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Attorney Barrera, you've advised and counseled Mr. Lund. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
no, Your Honor.
Mr. Lund, your attorney, Mr. Barrera, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lund, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
What do we want?
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty, in this case, the state's recommending confinement in Jefferson County Jail for a period of 90 days. However, we're asking that the court suspend the imposition of that sentence and place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 12 months. Order that he pay a $750 fine, perform 50 hours community service restitution, and in addition to the standard conditions of probation, that he participate in the DWI education course, a drug and alcohol assessment, and install an unlock device on any vehicle that he owns or operates. Judge.
Okay. Mr. Lund, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you don't have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you will be placed on probation for a period of 1 year, which is 12 months. You'll also be required during that probationary period to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs. The total fine and court costs is $1,172. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to pay a Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $185 a month. Mr. Lund, will you be able to pay the $185 each month?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will also be required to perform 50 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class. You will have a drug and alcohol assessment. You will be required to install the DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Lund, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your
Mr. Lund, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Lund, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, and you'll follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Barrera, once you finish signing the paperwork, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Good day to you.
Thank you.
I didn't see you on the one.
Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session. Next case is cause number 3288850. Case is style of State of Texas versus Christy Fate Gans. Ms. Gans, is that your full name?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gans, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Gans, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gans, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Gans?
I'm fine.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Gans, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
That's good. Mr. Reynolds, do you waive a record in Ms. Gans' case?
So wait.
Okay. Ms. Gans, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about July 7th, 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of falsification of a drug test. Ms. Gans, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to discharge, Ms. Gans, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you are actually guilty?
Correct. Yes.
Ms. Gans, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Gans, there's a set of initials, KG, that are on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Ms. Gans, did you place your initials on this document?
Correct.
On page 3 of this same document, Ms. Gans, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Ms. Gans, is that your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Ms. Gans, is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant? There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case, and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Correct.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Correct.
You understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Ms. Gans, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Ms. Gans, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yeah.
Ms. Gans, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yeah.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Gans, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, Judge, State offer States 1.
Any objections?
No objections, Judge.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Reynolds, you've advised and counseled Ms. Gans. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge, Judge.
Ms. Gans, your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Ms. Gans, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea in this case, the state's recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 3 days. We're asking that the court give the defendant credit for the 3 days that she's previously spent, essentially making this a time served agreement, Your Honor. As it relates to the court costs, we're asking that the court utilize that 3 days to tax and retire the court costs as well.
Okay, Ms. Gans, the state is offering that you serve 3 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 3 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $337. However, you will not have to pay the $337 because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Ms. Gans, do you understand the state's offer?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gans, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Gans, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney, and you're gonna follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
You are. Thank you.
Spurgeon, Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes,
He was
Tony
recessed.
Polanco, okay. Put it in session and clause number 324-874. Case to style the state of Texas versus Tony G. Polanco or Tony Gonzalez. Mr. Polanco, is that your full name?
Tony G. Blanco. Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Polanco?
I'm doing good, sir.
That's good. Mr. Polanco, you're here represented by your attorney, Mark Faggett. Attorney Faggett, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor.
That's good. Attorney Faggett, what's your announcement in Mr. Polanco's case?
His felony case was reset to August the 22nd, Your Honor. And that
Okay.
case will be going to trial on that day. So we'd ask this to be bumped to then.
Reset to August 22nd?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna reset it August 22nd, 2022.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Polanco, your attorney gonna sign for your reset. Once you get the reset from your attorney, you can be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Faggett, once you sign for the reset, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. Good to see you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay, court is in session and clause number 331-498. Case of style of state of Texas versus James Lee Robertson or James Lee Robertson Jr. Mr. Robertson, would you please come forward with your attorney?
How you doing today, sir?
All right. Okay, this is cause number 331-498. Case of style of state of Texas versus James Lee Robertson Jr. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, again, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Blessed today. I'm alive, sir.
That's good. Yeah, we all are blessed to be alive. Mr. Robertson, you're represented by your attorney, Laura Perrazzo. Attorney Perrazzo, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Perrazzo, you have an announcement you'd like to make in Mr. Robertson's case?
Yes, sir. If we could, we would like to reset his case with his felony, which is for August the 1st.
August the 1st?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? Okay. Okay, Mr. Robertson, this case is gonna be reset, your felony case set for August the 1st, 2022. Your attorney, Ms. Perrazzo, is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Ms. Perrazzo, once you sign for your reset, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What's your class? You?
Court is,
Thank you.
okay. The court is in session and cause number 3266618, case of style of state of Texas versus Denario Blankenship. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Denario Blankenship? Okay, well,
I'm not opposed to Zoom, Judge,
okay,
given the posture of this case and where I think we're headed with this case.
okay. You said, now he has the number to zoom them, has he zoomed in? Okay, just hold on, okay. You'll be in recess to give you time to do that. Okay, court is back in session and calls number 3266618, case of style of state of Texas versus Denario Blankenship. We have Mr. Blankenship appearing via Zoom. Mr. Blankenship, is your full name Denario Blankenship?
No, sir. Denario Marquise Blankenship,
Okay,
senior.
how are you doing, Mr. Blankenship?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
Okay, Mr. Blankenship, you're here, you're appearing via Zoom. Your attorney of record, Ms. Marva Provo, is appearing in court.
Yes, sir.
Now, the court has this case set for a bench trial. The court has before the waiver of jury that has been signed by both the defense and the state. Is that correct, Ms. Provo? And is that correct, Mr. Coleman?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, the court is signing the, motion to the order granting the waiver of a jury trial.
Yeah, I'm on Zoom with the judge right now. I'll tell him I'll be back out there in a second.
Okay, now, Mr. Coleman, you'd like to, proceed? You ready to proceed?
State's ready to proceed, Judge.
Defense, you ready to proceed? Mr. Coleman, would you please, read the information?
Yes, Your Honor. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and presents in and to the county court at law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Denario Blankenship, hereinafter style the defendant, heretofore on or about March 25th of 2020, did then and therewith intent to harass and no alarm, abuse, torment, or embarrass Jared McGinty, said defendant did then and there threaten by telephone calls to commit a felony, to wit, threatening to shoot the complainant against the peace and dignity of the state.
Mr. Blankenship, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest?
Not guilty.
Okay. State, you like to have an opening statement?
State waives this opening statement, Judge.
Defense, you like to have an opening statement? Okay. Mr. Coleman, you may proceed with your case in chief.
Your Honor, the state calls Jared McGinty.
Mr. Coleman, you have any other witnesses?
No further witnesses, Judge. The state rests.
Defense?
No.
Okay. You have any motions?
Yes, I have a motion, but the question I have to direct the verdict on this matter.
Okay. State is gonna, grant instructive verdict, in this case. Mr. Blankenship, you have been acquitted of your charges. That is, you've been found not guilty. Your attorney will be given a copy of, the order, the judgment, of not guilty, on this particular case. This will conclude your case. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too. Appreciate you, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, you may be excused. Okay, court is in session in cause number 330904, case of style of state of Texas versus Brian Buchanan. Mr. Buchanan, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Buchanan, you're here with your misdemeanor attorney Nathan Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, what's your announcement in Mr. Buchanan's case?
Judge, we'd like to hold our announcement, maybe place this on a later announcement docket until he finds out what's gonna happen with his felony case pending in the 252nd.
No objection, Judge.
And I think he's also hired a different lawyer that may take over this case.
Okay, so Mr. Buchanan, you waiting for, have you been to court in the felony court yet? Okay. What we're gonna have you to do is go back down there and wait for them to call your name. Once you finish there, come back here
Yes, sir.
to let us know what that court date is, and then we'll reset this case with that same court date.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, don't forget to come back here. You may be excused.
All right, thank you.
And I'll
Judge.
make sure we send you.
Thank you very much.
Reynolds.
See you.